No hard feelings, guys, but this is my gig. Trust me, Nero. This one's gonna be a little too much for you.
And welcome back to part 13 of Devil May Cry 5, where today we're at the third of the 3 divergence points. We get to see what happened after mission 13 from Dante's perspective. Okay, can you tell I'm kitted out? Can you tell I'm ready? Just starts off and I've got Faust and a giant demon sword on my back. But it means we're back on Son of Sparda difficulty once again. So it's going to be a bit more difficult than the standard playthrough, but at the same time it's not going to be... The enemies aren't going to start DTing on us. This entire drop on the way down gives you so many white orbs on any difficulty, even on DMD, that you're very likely to have a fully charged Sin Devil Trigger by the end, or just a full Devil Trigger ready to go. This in first encounter, I swear there's 2 alternate variants of this encounter. At least it feels like it. Like, I've had instances where it's these guys, then I've had instances where a bloody Fury has joined the fight. And I don't know what, like, if there's a trigger for it, or if it's random, or, like, if I'm misremembering something, but I swear that there's a Fury you can fight in here, in this specific room. There's one you fight later on no matter what, but I swear there's a specific one you can fight here. But this is also the mission I was on about before, where I said if you're going for 100%, you have to go through this mission 3 times. Because there's, as I get animation locked. Because the path splits several times through this, and certain splits will lock you out from being able to backtrack once you get the rewards you need. So there's a blue orb fragment, I think there's a purple orb fragment in here as well, and then there's also a secret mission. You're going to see me play a lot more feisty in the later missions with Dante though, because it's not more a matter of trying to get stuff done, it's that I'm just aware of how much more powerful and dangerous these encounters become. Because the game, on any difficulty, and you notice it more when you're messing around in Void mode, the practice mode, you notice it a lot more then, but essentially this game, its difficulty on the AI gradually increases throughout the course of the game, which makes sense, because it should get harder the further you go along, but it also applies to the harder difficulties. So these the AI of the enemies, when you're on like mission 2, 3 and such, isn't the same as what they're going to be like on mission 16 or 17. So not only have we not been playing as Dante since mission 12, but the enemies have had a lot of room to just get more and more powerful since then. And you're going to see me try and make the most of the Quad S, just because I love using Quad S. Quad S is so fucking fun. To just rip out Sin Devil Trigger for a moment and just get some free damage in. Oh, I was hoping to jump cancel that, but oh well. Is it not? How's it not dead? Come on. There we go. Yeah, a lot of the enemies in this game, I feel... They're not that they have too much health, they just have just enough health for it to start getting annoying. Like, it's not... It doesn't get enough to get frustrating, it's just a bit like, okay, come on. Especially on DT. On Dante Must Die even, not DT. That's Devil Trigger. On Dante Must Die, especially the enemy DTs early, you'll be wailing at an enemy for so goddamn long. And the proof is in the pudding when we fought that Proto-Angelo as Nero, and it took us forever. It was like longer than the boss fight. Longer than any other boss fight, I think. Because it just, those things have so much of an inflated health bar. Oh yeah, I haven't really shown off Dr. Faust that much, other than like nuking an enemy spawner in like mission 12, I think it was. But you can like you can let the spirit inside Dr. Faust, the mini Faust, go around and do its own thing, which is what I'm letting it do now. But let's get it back in. But you can do all sorts of little things. You can make it make a red orb shield around you that will defend you and will do a little bit of damage if anyone gets close to it. You can like whip it, and then like if you time the button press when it comes back to you, you can do like a smash explosion, which will bring it back to you. There's Red Hot Knight, the infamous attack that everyone kind of uses it for. That if you charge it up, will nuke everything, and if you max out the red orb counter, like you can max out and increase how many red orbs it will spend per second to increase the damage output as well. If you max it out to like level 4, then do a fully charged Red Hot Knight, it will instant kill everything in the game. It just takes half a lifetime to prepare it, so you're unlikely to see it. The easiest instance to get it to happen though is to actually in mission 19. It's not the easy. It's not easy, but it's the easiest. You just sit still and keep on charging it up and keep on praying. Anytime you get hit, just immediately pause, hit checkpoint, and you'll keep and try it again. If the boss backs up and starts shooting at you, just go into Devil Trigger and swap to Gunslinger whilst you're... well, you should be on Gunslinger anyway, whilst you're charging, and you'll be fine. And the reason why I say this is because when you've got the Devil Sword Spada, as I've said, the summon swords do different things. When you're in Devil Trigger, it does it for you. Oh, come on. I got the connect. Like, the impact started. I should have had the 3 invincibility frames beyond that. That's a bit questionable. I'm also not a big fan of the fact that they put, like, the 2, like, meatiest enemies in the same room. Like, yeah, okay, thanks, guys. Just put a queen and a behemoth in here. At least it's not on Dante Must Die difficulty, because that would be a nightmare. And it is a nightmare. I've beat the game on every difficulty but Hell and Hell as of this recording. But it's just because I don't care for Hell and Hell. Don't charge in, just take it. Yeah. But then that's the same in most Devil May Cry games. The only reason I bothered to do it in 4 is because it just felt really manageable. Whilst in 3, they completely disable access to checkpoints, and to be honest, I don't care for it enough. Especially with the V missions. And because you can't... The game doesn't let you get the trophy for S-ranking every mission as Virgil, which I think is ridiculous. I don't care if it's easier. It still takes a lot of effort to S-rank every mission on every difficulty. It doesn't matter who I play as. Let me do it as Virgil, for fuck's sake. But no, yeah, because you have to do it as V. I just can't be bothered. It's the only 2 trophies I haven't done is beat it on Hell and Hell and S-rank every single difficulty, every single mission, every single difficulty, because I just do not care. Like, even if there's only like 1 or 2 trophies left in a game, if the trophy isn't fun to get, I probably won't bother unless I can get it done kind of quick. If it's something that takes a lot of effort and I don't think it's fun, it's not happening, even if it's the only one. It's the same reason why I never beat, I got the only trophy I'm missing from Blaze Blue Central Fiction, the Speedster mode, because I just didn't enjoy Speedster mode. It just wasn't my thing, and I wasn't prepared to put in the effort to master it, because it just wasn't my cup of tea, so it was the only trophy I never got. Maybe one day I'll go back for it. I mean, Ark are talking about after the unsurprising success of rollback netcode in Guilty Gear Strive, they're talking about retroactively adding rollback to some of their older titles. And I know everyone's like, oh yeah, I hope they do it to Dragon Ball. They're not going to do it to their licensed games because it's not their call. It doesn't matter how well Dragon Ball did, and it doesn't matter how many people like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. They're licensed games. It's not their call. It'll be Bandai's call and whoever it was for Grand Blue. If they say, yeah, go for it, then it'll happen. But if they're saying, oh, we want to do something for our older titles, they're going to mean the ones they own. So that's going to be probably Blaze Blue, Cross Tag Battle, and or maybe Central Fiction. I hope Central Fiction, because I fucking love Central Fiction. It's next to Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, it's my favourite fighting game, full stop. Which I know is a bit of a hot take, but I'm not saying it's the best, I'm just saying it's my second favourite fighting game. I wouldn't dare say it's the best, because I know I've played a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I've played a lot of 2013 Killer Instinct, I've played Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and I do thoroughly enjoy all of them. It's just my weird bubble of what I like. It just always ends up leaning me towards Persona 4 Arena Ultimax and Blaze Blue Central Fiction. As we enter the cold core of this, which when I first got here, I was like, oh, please tell me, because we already knew that like Cerberus was coming back as a weapon, but they didn't confirm it was a boss, and I stayed clear away from a lot of spoiler-based stuff, so I was like, please tell me we're going to fight Cerberus, and so you jump down and, well...
Once, only kings of the underworld may enter these gates. You shall not pass!
Oh, easy there, fella. Hey, I remember a stinky little pooch just like you.
You insult me, foul-scented creature!
Looks like your master's got you on a pretty short leash. Come on, little puppy. I'll take you out for a walk. Come on, let's go.
You have fought our kin in the past. I am king of the Cerberus tribe! They were weak, but we will feast on your flesh and gnaw on your bones!
So, you're the strongest in the litter. Looks like we're gonna need a bigger leash. Come.
I like how the music in the intro plays glimmers of the old Cerberus theme. Like from DMC3. Like you hear the like you hear that, but then it just goes into the fucking rave party that is King Cerberus's theme called Raw Raw Raw. And to be fair, the track's grown on me. When I first heard it, I detested it. I thought it was like the worst track in the game. It's just, I'm not that kind of person with the music. I'm not into this. But it's grown on me because I got what they were going for. Throughout the fight, King Cerberus is going to constantly be changing elements. Instead of just being ice, like the original Cerberus was, he's got fire form and he's got an electric form. Which now, hopefully, will make sense why the Cerberus weapon has a fire form and an electric form as well. Because it's the King Cerberus, not the original Cerberus. I'm probably too close, so I'm going to go for it. So it wasn't a full charge, that was like the first charge. Because it charges up in 3 stages. That has a higher hitbox than it looks like it has, so I'm surprised that didn't hit me. But every time it changes form, it blows up the entire arena and changes the colour and aesthetic of the entire thing. Which is why they're going for the rave music, because they're trying to go for like a rave party against this thing, where the colouring is constantly changing. Which I hope, I wish they went all in. Something that, it's more of a nitpicky criticism, but it's still something I'm going to criticise, is that I found it kind of odd that the most common insult that either the characters or the enemies use to one another in this game is the smell. Like, it's so often they say, oh wow, you stink, or they go, oh, smelly little pooch, or whatever. Like, they bring up stink as like their main punchline for the joke so goddamn often in this game, when I felt like the older games had a much, greater joke variety. Like Dante riding on Burial's tail, or kicking a kid in the seeds all back at it, so they'd make like a big circular thing to all hit it perfectly in the face. Or the entire like stage show recital that you did with Agnes. I was hoping for more of that, and like imagine if like instead of it they had their nod to the past, or having their come on, let's go for a walk, but they instead made it like a disco rave and had like the opening beats be like Dante out dancing it, because then it would be a nice continuation from the Dr. Faust joke that we had earlier. So they could have just done that.
Oh, that's nice.
So like, get it? Oh, okay. So that was a slightly stronger charge, so it ripped through its health bar a lot quicker. And the reason why I'm doing this is just because Cerberus next to Gilgamesh has the most health of any boss in the game. So I kind of want to get it done in a reasonable time frame. So ripping it to shreds by using Dante's strongest tools, if I can do that, I will. Because I think it will die if I can get a... Oh, so if I got a judgment out, it would be dead. I pressed the input, but it just didn't register, so... Oh well. It's going to be dead in 2 seconds anyway. But imagine if they made like Dante have a dance off of this thing. Obviously, it would be able to dance back, you'd just be getting angry, but it'd be dancing to dodge attacks. Like in another universe, I suppose.
Guess I'm the first one here. I like that.
And that's the end of the divergence pathways. So now we get to see what came next. When everyone went their separate routes, Dante got to the core of the Clythoth tree first. And what did he discover down there? Well, we're about to find out.
The truth is, I wanted to be protected and loved, but I was alone. My only choice was to survive.
V, you gotta rest.
Nero, I will tell you everything. There is no demon named Urizen. Only a man who threw away his humanity in an endless pursuit of power. He is Dante's older brother.
Dante's brother?
Yes. And his real name is Virgil. Virgil. Hey, is that the damn fruit you've been jabbering about? Doesn't look so special to me. Yep. This is where it all started. That day Mother saved me and left you behind. The thing you don't know is, she tried to save you too. She kept searching and searching. Until I killed her.
I have no recollection of this tale. Or this place. It's all an illusion. Created by this extraordinary fruit. Its power, you see, is all I ever wanted. And with this, I will have everything!
No, brother. You don't have everything. That last shred of humanity that you still had, you just lost it.
That is nothing but the pitiful cries of those without strength. Come to me, brother. I shall enlighten you. Dante!
What was once Dante's brother has descended into this great beast. The final fight against Urizen begins now in an amazing arena. Genuinely, like, when I saw this the first time, like, I ended up losing this fight because I was too busy being distracted by fucking everything else. I was looking at the arena, I was listening to the intense music, and the fact that this music is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as the fight goes on, deliberately, to the point where the drums start to outpower everything until it becomes white noise. Because it's trying to send a message that this fight was never avoidable. It's always going to happen. There's always going to be a conflict between these two brothers. The Sons of Sparta can never escape this fate of always having to fight to the death. and having to fight in a glass reflection of Virgil's broken memories of his old home, as the glass that makes this illusion slowly starts to crack and shatter as it goes on, and the ground becomes gorier and blooded as Urizen trembles and stumbles across the entirety of it. This fight was fucking god tier. I was genuinely convinced this was gonna be the grand finale, that this is the final boss. I was like, if this is it, this is where it ends, then holy shit. Because the Urizen is going to be throwing everything at you. He's still got all the tricks he had from when he was in the chair, or like just at the throne in general, where he can borrow a bunch of skills from other bosses. Like he's going to be using Artemis' lasers a whole bunch, and these summon swords that look like, as I get like whacked to shit. I tried to roll Garden, but what can you do? That look like they came from, I want to say the Elder Guryan Knights, but I'm not certain on that. But even though the red orb like supercharge attack doesn't do as much as I thought it would. You still got that from Goliath, but he also has, you know, a bunch of kung fu, as you probably noticed. He'll kick the crap out of you if you're literally if you're not careful. And this is where you're going to see me make the most of tricking forward and then doing trick down to catch up, because the Urizen will warp away often, and you need to be able to make that distance as soon as possible. So warping at him and then warping to the ground. So warp at, well, I haven't warp at the ground. Well, I'm already on the ground when they warp forward, so I didn't get to do it that time. But if you're in the air, literally just trick forward, trick down, trick forward, trick down. Get a good real impact in there. Oh, maybe even another one since you're sitting still. And the music's going to start to get into that drony point now as the sky darkens. He gets more aggressive. He might unleash his ultimates, which you'll know it's coming, because he'll start charging up, like ready to do like the ultimate kick, it looks like. Even though he won't kick you immediately. When he starts doing that, two things need to be put into consideration. Firstly, don't be near him. Secondly, don't be standing on blood. You need to be standing on ground. Because spikes, this is what I mean. Because spikes will shoot up from the ground and pin you, but they only spike up from his vicinity and the blood flooring. So if you want to get him, if you want to be safe from it even, you need to either be super high up or you need to be out of the range for that. But I'm just going to go for Judgment and see if I can finish this in style. As we wrap up, and a fight that we didn't get to show too much of because I've done it so many times, but I assure you it's a fantastic boss fight.
Why are they fighting each other?
To see one's justice through, a man must fight for it, even if the one who stands before him is his kin.
That's ridiculous.
The Brothers of Blood disagree on the very reason of their existence. They must fight.
Dante!
You're late. Just finishing up.
Is that really your brother?
I'm afraid so.
So he was behind all this. Your own flesh and blood.
Right again.
In the last throes of defeat, I see.
V, get back. Things are about to get really messy.
No. Please. Let me. I want to end this battle with my own hands. Do not struggle, for if you can't even defeat me, then you've already lost.
I will not lose. Not to Dante. I need power. More power.
I know. We are one and the same, you and I. But you've lost me. And I've lost you. Yet we are connected by that one feeling. While thy branches mix with mine, and our roots together join.
What is this?
Virgil.
The thing we all hoped and kind of sort of knew was going to happen, but Virgil's back. Next time on Devil May Cry 5, we fight our twin brother. Until then, you take care now.